Hey, what's going on, guys? Look, before I jump into this video, okay, I want to make something perfectly clear. What I'm about to discuss with y'all, this history is just a theory. That's all it is, just a theory. So TikTok, please do not ban my video because y'all seem to be the only platform that does that. Okay, look, I'm just encouraging people to think, ask questions, and do their own research, okay? Not blindly believe what anybody else tells them or believe what I say for that matter, okay? And I want to give a huge shout out to this man right here, okay? This content creator, his name is Taylor Durden, right? I know y'all getting Fight Club vibes, but look, if you haven't checked out this man's page, please do yourself a favor. Go check him out. Give him a follow. I reached out to him back in the day when I first came across his content. I think it was in April, right? And I was genuinely curious where this cat was getting these ideas from, this information. I mean, and when I reached out to him, I was expecting him to send me books, websites, research papers. No. You know what he did? Instead, he said 2 words to me. It all started with fasting and breath work, really. Wow. Honestly, that hit me harder than any source that man could have gave me, right? Because I already knew about those practices already, but I wasn't applying them consistently. That was my ego convincing me that I didn't need to do that. That's my fault, right? His response reminded me that knowledge isn't something you just collect. It's something you experience, right? As I started reconnecting with those practices, man, the ideas, okay, that I've been researching all these years are starting to connect in ways I never thought they had before, if that makes sense, right? It felt like something someone just handed me the missing piece of the puzzle that I was trying to connect, and I had been studying for years. So, Taylor, salute. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you more than you know. So whether people agree with you or not, you've inspired me to keep asking questions, and that's exactly what this video is about. Now, let's explore the theory that I think deserves a little bit more discussion. Right? What if these so-called great resets throughout history weren't about rebuilding after wars or disasters? What if they were also opportunities to reshape how surviving populations thought? Really, think about it for a second, okay? If a civilization experiences massive destruction, right? The people that are left behind, they're grieving, they're vulnerable, looking for food, shelter, safety, maybe even leadership. Right? That's the perfect opportunity to introduce new systems, new rules, new identities, and new belief systems. Now, the theory suggests that after certain historical conflicts, survivors gathered into these institutions where new records, new identities, new social structures were established, right? Whether every part of that theory is true or not, the bigger question is worth asking here, guys. How much of what we accept today was naturally developed? And how much was intentionally taught? Yeah, that's a question every one of us should be wrestling with right now. Yeah. Again, according to this theory, right, large institutional buildings some people associate with older architecture from previous civilizations, they were repurposed after these resets, right? The claim is that these survivors were processed through a new system. Pictured IDs, right? Certificates, employment records, attendance records, official documents. You know what I'm saying? Right? Now, I really want you to think about the psychology behind all of that. Just take a second to think about it. Now, when somebody hands you a document that officially tells you who you are, what you've accomplished, or where you belong, yeah, that piece of paper begins to carry a little bit of authority with it, doesn't it? Again, I'm not saying this proves the theory, okay? I'm saying it's worth recognizing how institutions have historically shaped identity, right? Because once identity is shaped, guess what? Beliefs, they often follow. Yeah, that's pretty much how indoctrination can begin. Not always by force, right? But by repetitiveness. Repetition, yeah, authority, or even acceptance. Does that sound familiar? Now, let's go a step further, shall we? Every society runs on trust, right? You trust in government, you trust in the banks, you trust in the institutions, you trust in the money, right? The theory argues that new populations were organized after these historical events, right? These resets. Financial systems, they expanded alongside them. Yeah. Whether we're talking about paper currency, official documents, or official records, right? Or financial records, it doesn't matter. The question always becomes, who created the system we trust? Seriously, right? Money itself only works. Hear this, okay? Money itself only works if the billions of people around the world collectively agree it has value. That's it. Money is fictitious. Right? We're the money, okay? We're the money, right? Now, again, that should make every one of you out there stop and think. If enough people can be convinced to believe one thing, then ideas can spread just as easily as currency. That's a powerful lesson in human psychology. If you ain't figured that out, you're welcome. Now, here's where things should really make you think, okay? Every generation inherits traditions, holidays, customs, stories, or even symbols, right? Most of us never even stop to ask where these all came from. Most of us, we just accept and continue them because why our parents did, and their parents before them. Right? Whether we're talking about Christmas, Easter, national holidays, or even cultural traditions, it's important, right? You ask why they became a part of our everyday lives. Like, who promoted them? And why did they spread so successfully? Seriously, just making you think. Okay, traditions can unite people, no doubt. I firmly believe that. But here's the thing, they can also influence behavior. And they can also generate enormous amounts of revenue. Yeah. Look, asking questions about origins doesn't mean you're rejecting them. It just simply means you're trying to understand them, right? That's how independent thinking begins. Okay, but here's the bigger picture, guys. Okay, throughout history, we all know that governments, corporations, advertisers, religions, and even institutions have all used messaging to influence public opinion. Can we not agree to that? Yeah, because propaganda exists, advertising exists, political messaging exists, right? Education shapes cultures, and your media shapes your perception. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. You know, the important question isn't whether influence exists. We all know that influence exists, guys. The question is whether we're aware of it the time it's happening. Make sense? Because if the people stop asking questions, I guarantee you somebody's going to start answering those questions for you. That's how critical thinking goes, bye-bye, just disappears, right? And that's how a small number of individuals or people can influence the thinking of millions around the world. And it's not because they're more intelligent or necessarily more intelligent than them. It's because they understand human psychology. That was the first thing they studied, how to manipulate the mind. Right? Whether you agree with this theory or completely disagree with it, right? I hope this at least encourages you to take a step back and ask some questions of your own, and maybe ask just one simple question. Where did the beliefs that I hold today actually come from? Because look, guys, at the end of the day, don't believe what I'm telling you. Don't believe what anybody else is telling you, right? Do your own research. Ask your own questions. Follow the evidence wherever it may lead you, even if it challenges something you believed in your whole life. Because that's the only way we evolve and grow, especially with knowledge. Look, this video was just a Cliff Notes. It was meant to introduce the theory and hopefully spark some ideas and some curiosity that y'all may start digging on your own. Because there are so many historical events, documents, institutions, and patterns that deserve a lot deeper dive than I can fit into this one video. You understand that, right? So if this is something y'all want to see, let me know in the comment section. And if enough of y'all are interested, I'll put together a little detailed video or a series, if you will, with these historical events, and we'll do it piece by piece, connect some dots, look at all the evidence together so that everyone can make their own decisions, right? And look, guys, as always, I want to hear from you, each and every one of you, okay? Especially people that study history, symbolism, astronomy, numerology, any related subjects like that, right? Please share your thoughts, your research, and your perspectives in the comments because we all learn by having respectful conversations and just comparing ideas, right? So please keep asking questions, keep thinking for yourselves, and keep following your heart. I love y'all. And I truly appreciate every single one of you out there that watch my video and engage with them. Thank you. I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.
Why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented.